back. In the 1960s, Branson, Missouri was a quiet town, visited only by cars passing through Highway 76. You really only noticed it if you ran out of gas.
Today, Branson has gone big time. 32 theaters featuring the biggest names in country music attract over 5 million fans a year.
How did this unknown town become one of the top 5 tourist attractions in the country? Well, it started with an unlikely family of musicians who had a dream. And here's how they did it.
Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a time out down the old riddle when the sun's coming up and the brakes on the riddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy.
Branson, Missouri. It's in the middle of the Ozarks with a population of only 3,700. But this little town attracts more than 100,000 tourists a day. Almost every hotel room is sold out all summer long, and the tourists spend more than $1 billion a year. Why do they come? More music stars appear here every day than in Nashville, Los Angeles, New York, Las Vegas, and Atlantic City combined. Incomparable Wayne Newton.
It has made Branson the Broadway of country music. It all started with Presley. No, not that Presley. These Presleys. Though they're no relation to the king, the family of Lloyd and Bessie Mae Presley have as much to do with Branson as Elvis has to do with rock and roll.
Well, I believe the Presleys absolutely can take credit for what Branson is becoming and has become.
I don't think the town of Branson would be the same without the Presleys.
Lloyd Presley has played music all his life. As a young boy, he and his brother performed whenever and wherever they could.
We worked on a lot of flatbed trucks, wagon beds, anywhere they would listen to a couple of little kids sing, we tried to be there.
Lloyd dropped out of school after the 8th grade and soon after married Bessie Mae. He delivered produce for a living, but on weekends he performed with the Ozark Playboys. For 20 years they played country fairs, benefits, and ice cream socials to small local crowds. Lloyd's first regular performing job was in the early 60s, playing for tourists in underground cavern theaters. 3 of his 4 kids had joined the act by that time, and even though they were playing 6 nights a week, they still weren't making a living at their music. Then the family got an idea that would change their lives and Branson forever.
We decided to build our theater here in about 1966, and we thought if we could get on one of the tourist-oriented roads, if that's what you want to call it, that we might be able to pick off a few people.
How did they decide where to build? They studied the flow of tourist traffic in the area. A deserted stretch of Highway 76 just west of Branson got the heaviest flow. They found 10 acres for sale for $15,000, got a loan, sold their home, and moved into an old farmhouse on the property. The wood and corrugated building cost $18,000 to build. It was an all-or-nothing gamble.
Actually built the theater where it could be converted into some other building if it had to be, either boat storage or any other business building besides show if show didn't work. Thank the Lord, show worked.
By 1981, the Presleys had been joined by 11 other country music theaters, and how did this remote stretch of road become one of the busiest streets in the world? In a word, stars.
National figures began to see that these guys were playing to full houses, sometimes 2 houses a night. They were not in a bus running around the country beating their brains out.
I started hearing about Branson probably 15, 16 years ago. And I'd heard people say it's a resort where you can enjoy yourself. And I heard that there was country music here.
1983, Hee Haw's Roy Clark opened a theater alongside the local show houses. And Clark wasn't the only celebrity to perform there. He invited his friends.
We booked in Mel Tillis, Ray Stevens, Mickey Gilley, Boxcar Willie, Glenn Campbell, Louise Mandrell. And they all took a look around and said, why am I working for Roy Clark? I'm going to build my own theater.
And build they did. During the next 10 years, scores of big-name entertainers hung out their shingles on Country Music Boulevard, from Willie Nelson to Soji Tabuchi.
Why did the stars want to put down stakes in Branson, Missouri? It was an opportunity to go into business for themselves. No bosses, no middlemen. In other words, the chance to make a fortune.
How? Volume. Tour groups, busload after busload, families in a parade of RVs and station wagons. They all converge on Branson in pursuit of wholesome entertainment and family fun at reasonable prices. And something else unique to this place, it's called Bransonizing.
Tell everybody in Seattle we said hi.
Well, we get the word Bransonizing people around here, and I think that comes from
Some of the newer stars coming into Branson here, I think most of them found when they get to Branson, they don't load up and run home right quick. They've got to go out and visit with the people.
After every show, the Presleys go from bus to bus, making sure that everybody gets a personal thank you. Just how far does the Presley hospitality go? It was tested to its maximum when the stars moved in.
When the big names started coming into Branson in the 80s, frankly, it bothered us a little bit because we had never had to confront that before. And we decided the thing to do was become friends with them.
The Presleys were the first ones to say, if there's any way we can help, you just fire away, ask us. And so they are the epitome of the perfect neighbor.
Whatever the Presleys are doing, it works. Their new 2,000-seat show palace is filled to the rafters nearly every performance. Part of the reason folks come is not so much what's there as what's not.
Oh, I think I swallowed a bug. You want some water? No, just let him walk down.
Branson humor is really good, clean family humor. You're not going to see anything that's blue here, off color at all.
You won't see that over at Wayne Newton.
You can't come in and do your concert that you wouldn't do in most places in the country. And on our turf, they have to compete with us.
God help me, Jesus.
I was pleased on an airline the other day to open the magazine and noticed a Las Vegas hotel advertising Branson-type show.
I'm as happy as I can be right where I stand, and I don't think I would have done it any other way if I could have.
Lord Presley!